Every day, millions of people share real time reactions to televised media. Measuring the volume and sentiment of these messages can help determine what makes for compelling content. By tracking a viewer's brainwaves with EEG, you can also isolate moments of a show that produce high levels of neurological engagement. But what if you could combine these disparate sources of data? Maybe then you could better understand the relationship between neural stimulus and social response. This is the opening scene to the series premiere of The Walking Dead, a show on AMC about the zombie apocalypse. Rick, the main character, has just come across a small girl wandering through an abandoned lot. As he gets up to pursue her, the scenes quicken and the tension builds. If we zoom in, we see the three highest correlated components of brain activity across 20 subjects. These components often spike during moments the girl is on screen.
Don't be afraid, okay? Little girl?
As the girl turns and reveals that she's a zombie, the audience reacts on Twitter with shock, fear, and excitement. Many urge Rick to shoot the girl as if they were collectively yelling at the screen via Twitter. Rick pulls his gun and fires. Brain activity spikes and hundreds of tweets pour in, celebrating the headshot. Focusing in on the Twitter data, we see that a majority of the tweets were positive and scored high in terms of immersion, our metric for audience engagement. The tweets are visualized according to 5 hand-labeled categories. Green dots are positive tweets, gray neutral, and red negative. Tweets that demonstrate high levels of immersion bounce towards you, while less immersed responses descend into the screen. The black lines underneath the dots link each tweet back to the current scene, showing us the range in response times. Finally, humorous tweets shake and jiggle. In general, we find that jokes about the content tend to come after more emotional responses. In a later scene, Rick searches desperately for his family.
Laurie! Carl!
This tragic moment, played up by an emotional score, saw increased levels of brain activity. But while some responded on Twitter with empathy, most mocked Rick and his lack of clothing. Comparing this scene to the previous one, we see that while both produced significant spikes in brainwaves, the depiction of a headshot generated more tweets with higher levels of immersion and positive sentiment. We think these scenes highlight a fascinating gap between moments that people are comfortable sharing and those they keep to themselves. So while Twitter may provide a useful proxy, there are worlds of engagement that aren't necessarily captured on social media.